Hello, everybody. My name is Riskway, and welcome to a story that I made. This story isn't the longest story ever, and it's only got about a chapter and a half. So I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get started. The story is titled "The Blade." August 23rd, 2003. It was Zach's 15th birthday when he got his first knife. To be more exact, a multi-tool, as is the tradition in his hometown of Trenton. The multi-tool included a compass, a flint striker, a 3-inch blade, a screwdriver, and a saw. Zach loved the outdoors and used his multi-tool often to cut string or start fires in the woods. He would even cut wood for clubhouses and invite his friends for help. One evening, Zach decided he would climb a pine tree, so he went to the woods where he found a 30-foot pine tree. The pine tree was tall and straight, and he made some cordage for climbing gear. Zach threw his cordage around a long branch and climbed, but he stopped and sat on top of it because he wanted to be able to get back down the tree. Zach looked at his beautiful town with many water fountains and beautiful trees, which were planted last year when the town complained about the lack of plants. Zach stared at one location which was known as the Underground. The Underground was a place where thieves and hitmen went to gamble and drink beer. Zach had only heard these things from his friends, but still believed it to be true. Zach wondered if his friends were completely true, even though he had seen people go in there before. That fit the description pretty well. Zach jumped off the branch and rolled when he hit the ground, because it was a technique he picked up over time to take less pain from falling. He started jogging home and made it back in about 5 minutes. It was dark when he arrived home, but his parents didn't seem worried, because they were both busy with getting dinner ready and getting the table set. Zach put his leather jacket on the coat rack and went to his room. He shut his bedroom door behind him and started sharpening his knife, because it was dull from the last few days. He thought of that place his friends always mentioned to him. It was always somewhat dark there, like an alleyway in a city, and had an old stone arch in front of it. His friends said they had once been there and that it was full of gold, but Zach thought that seemed quite unlikely and assumed they were joking with him that day. It was 3 a.m., and Zach couldn't sleep because he kept wondering what the underground actually looked like on the inside of the barrier, and if there was actually gold in there, or gamblers just go there for fun, or if it's a thief and mobster hideout. He walked out of his room and grabbed his knife and jacket and headed towards the underground. He was in no rush, and walked through the cold, dark streets of Trenton, only able to see because of street lights and house lights that barely lit the streets. The destination was a good 10 minutes away, and once he got there, he had to jump a fence to get in. Zach ripped the end of his sleeve, jumping the fence, but it was barely noticeable, and he slowly walked up to the place his friends spoke about. And he would have stayed calm, but he heard a loud dog barking all of a sudden nearby. The dog made Zach jump in fear, for he was scared of dogs. He ran across a small brick path, which was torn and missing bricks. Zach saw a tree and climbed it to get away from the dog, and to get a better vantage point. He looked at the area carefully, make sure not to fall off the tree. He saw a light-up sign that said, "The Den," and hopped off the tree. Zach ran to the sign as fast as he could to see if anyone was inside. The building was an old, worn-down brick building that had a dumpster outside of it. Upon further inspection, he saw that the sign actually read, "The Thieves' Den," and Zach knew that this was definitely a hideout. Chapter 2. He walked up to what seemed like a door, and beside it, a cracked window that was still a little clear. Zach didn't like the feel of this place, but still looked through the window. There were 2 men dressed in black, holding metal baseball bats and had guns holstered on their pants. Zach immediately backed away in fear that they would see him. He wondered what they were doing, but at that moment they were walking towards the door, and Zach didn't have any time to react and froze. The 2 men saw him and shouted at him. He ran, but they caught up with him and hit him in the legs to knock Zach down. Zach pulled out his knife and tried to scare them, but they kept hitting him. Zach stabbed one in the leg and ran, knowing they wouldn't chase him. He ran and hopped the fence, not knowing what to do, but he knew he would now be on the papers and had to run. He wouldn't stay home, but he ran back anyways to leave a note. It read, "Dear family, I have to leave for a while because of something that happened last night, but I'll return once I feel it's safe. Zach." Once he got done writing it, he placed it on the doormat and ran towards the river nearby. He had run about 10 minutes to get there, but once he did, he just laid down to rest. Alright, so I hope you guys did enjoy the story. I worked on it one day, a few months ago actually, about a month or two, and I was just, feeling the mood to write. I like writing things. I like typing. It's pretty easy for me. So let me know what you guys think about this story in the comments below. If I should continue it, and if I should make a full 80-page story out of it. Alright, so like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.